So how have EMIS adapted to being home-based without compromising highly sensitive data security?
Thanks, Sophie. So I'll just give a bit of background on what EMIS do first, so to give some context on what I'm going to talk about. So EMIS Group have a number of brands within their organisation, of which one of the major ones is EMIS Health. So we provide market-leading software solutions for GP surgeries, acute treatment centres, A&Es, etc. So we have about 56% of GPs nationally on the EMIS Health, EMIS Web platform, which is kind of like a one-stop shop IT solution for GP surgeries, where we will host not just the back-end data, but also provide all the equipment and software for a GP surgery to look after the data, the records of a patient. Now we're pretty much predominantly a hosted systems platform, so we have our own data centers, and we store sensitive patient data in those data centers as well. But we are actually moving to a cloud-based solution going forward with our move to a more modular system based on a platform called EMIS X. So that gave us a stepping stone into AWS already, which is our chosen cloud platform of choice. Now, when COVID kicked in and we all had to get locked down very quickly, we had a situation where the majority of our staff were office-based. We did have some flexibility, predominantly staff who weren't focused on looking after patient data, etc., could work from home, and that wasn't particularly a problem. And to support that, we had a number of different network solutions, VPNs, etc., to allow them to get into office systems if need be. However, when all our staff had to work from home, the licensing, the hardware, a lot of the network-based solutions wouldn't have coped with circa 1,000 plus staff all trying to get into the system all at the same time and still provide us with the ability to secure patient data. A lot of our systems are, for want of a better word, air-gapped, so we can't extract patient data onto our personal laptops or our work laptops and walk around with that kind of information. It's very important that we keep our systems as secure as possible, not just because we have to align to NHS digital guidelines, but it's the right thing to do for everybody, and it gives everybody a sense of trust and knowing that their most personal data is nice and secure. So that takes us to the day where everybody has to work from home, and we have to move exceedingly quickly to allow EMIS to continue operating as a business, because we're in the middle of this COVID crisis and our systems are being used by the healthcare industry and the NHS on a regular basis. So we can't fall over when the majority of the population is counting on our systems, really. So we had two options for our staff. The people who needed the access were using our VPN solution, and the people who needed a secure system, we had to look at a way of either spinning up lots and lots of, for want of a better word, remote desktop gateways, and allowing them to jump onto servers hosted within our data center, and then using that as like a bastion host to get into other systems which allow them to support patient data. However, that's quite an expensive route, and there's a lot of manpower needed from an administration and management perspective to set all that up. So that was kind of discounted relatively quickly. The other option was to implement a market-leading virtual desktop solution, such as VMware Horizon, and that was the preferred route at the time. However, VMware were inundated with requests for resources to deliver that, and because it needed to be installed on physical tin, we had a situation where we didn't actually have the requisite number of servers to be able to deploy VMware Horizon quickly, and VMware couldn't provide the requisite licensing and software and professional services to assist in that deployment either in the timeframes that we needed. So we needed to look at a more flexible solution, and this brought us to AWS Workspaces. Now, for those of you who don't know, AWS Workspaces is Amazon's own version of VDI software. You effectively get your own ring-fenced solution, desktop solution, where your IT supplier, your IT support teams can build an image that can be deployed in a point in time very quickly on servers running in the cloud. It's a managed service, so we don't have to worry about spinning up machines and managing them and setting up auto-scaling groups and setting up all the security boundaries. It's actually managed by AWS, and this is where the shared responsibility model comes in as well. So AWS move a little bit further up the stack in terms of some of their managed services, and AWS Workspaces is one of those. Kind of similar to the way Office 365 works in their security model. You still have to do certain things and enable certain things from a security perspective, but a lot more of it is taken care of for you. The beauty about Workspaces is it's self-service, so we can very quickly spin up a number of desktops for our staff to use. Now, the question mark here is, well, that's all running in an AWS region. Our region of choice is London because of our patient data, etc. So how does that talk to our data centers in Leeds and other places across the country? Well, because of our move to AWS, we also have a direct connect set up. So this is a leased line between our data centers into an Amazon point of presence. And then that is securely connected to a number of VPCs or in the immediate future transit gateways to our secure, dedicated, low latency, high bandwidth access into our data centers from secure virtual private networks in AWS that run within our own EMIS accounts. So we have our workspace environment set up in a secure VPC, which is connected over direct connect back into our data centers, and we can then securely manage access from there into EMIS. Now, AWS isn't, Workspace isn't the panacea for this. There are still some limitations which we've had to work with. VMware Horizon is one of the market leaders in this space, and if time would have permitted, we probably would have gone with VMware Horizon for our desktop solution. But Workspaces was available very quickly, very scalable, no limitations in terms of how many we wanted to desktops we wanted to spin up, apart from cost. The more you use with Amazon, the more you pay effectively. But it allowed the organization to move very quickly and still have that air gap, so data couldn't be extracted directly onto people's machines, which is obviously a big security risk. We are still using Workspaces now, and it's been very effective for us. It's given us the flexibility to continue working when and allow us to concentrate on keeping our systems up and available for the GP surgeries and the acute systems, etc. Out there. So it's been a massive benefit. And we haven't flooded our network connectivity with a lot of people pulling down large amounts of data over the VPN, which is another key benefit.